Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to TCR Trinity Competitive Racing. It's Tuesday night after Thanksgiving, and we are back for round 14 at Canada with our silver class drivers out on track doing qualifying in our 18-minute session. We have a full grid tonight, 20 drivers vying for the top 10 spots in quali. We have a huge championship battle on our hands between Passasaurus Rex and Bamboo, so that'll be something to watch. But again, welcome back. Hope you guys had a wonderful week off. My name is 007 Professional. I will be your commentator for tonight, and your only commentator. So we'll be just riding solo. A few drivers out, trying to start their hot laps. Let's go ahead and ride on board with, I believe it's Nip Steven, who is, I think it's beginning or about to. I'm more with Flavio. Flavio is actually a full-time driver tonight. He is joining us. He was a reserve for the past few races, and tonight it is his first time in the Red Bull, partnering Nip Steven in the other Red Bull, the sister Red Bull. Flavio going through turn 4, 5, and now turn 6 and turn 7, trying to get a really good run onto this semi-back straight, opening at the DRS. Going underneath the tunnel, really hard to spot the braking point on turn 8 and turn 9, and then the car really wants to just kick out on oversteer on the exit of turn 9, all the way down to the hairpin. Heavy braking at the 100-meter board, just under at around 90 miles or 90 meters, and slightly missed the apex, gets on the power, and now just shoots down this really long straight, opening up the DRS again. Into the famous chicane, last chicane at Canada. Want to be really careful. You do not want to hit the champion's wall. Many champions in the past have hit it. Many TCR drivers have hit it as well. Flavio staying well away though from that wall, and we'll see what he does here to put in his first time. P3 with a 110.1. Bamboo right now is in P1 with a 109.5. D-Swish 109.6, so just 1/10 behind Bamboo. Really good lap from D-Swish. And then Flavio again in P3. Passasaurus Rex, our championship leader, down in P4, but on the medium tire. So he'll probably put on the soft tire for his second and third run. Lazo Pits, Motor City, P6 currently at the 10.7. So we're kind of looking at probably the soft tires for people to be qualifying on, although the medium tire is a really good tire to qualify, to start the race on, to do the alternate strategy. But this track of 14 corners, walls on either side, so drivers are going to have to really cope with not over driving the car too much and just staying within the track limits. Tonight we are running strict limits. So driver's going to have to be careful not to... Oh, the Ferrari kind of gets in the way there. I believe that's Turkey Whacker just on his outlap. But the track limits sure to play a part tonight in the race. I'm sure by the end of it, a few drivers will have a few 3-second penalties racked up, as Tafor, we welcome him back from a few races of hiatus. And Gotney Weeb is now just crossing the line. See what he puts in. I believe this is a fast lap. He's on the medium tire, so 10.0. Really good lap from Gotney Weeb, especially to put that car up there on the slower tire, about 0.6 of a second slower. But like I said, this is a street-type circuit with walls on either side, so it's sort of like a fast Monaco. You make one mistake, you're in the wall, damaged wing. We do expect to see a few broken wings tonight, hopefully not too much, and possibly a few safety cars that sure to play a part in the race. I have to say, that black Mercedes just flies around this track. Looks great as well. Super close to the wall. Gotney Weeb cannot get any closer. That was amazing. Really good car control. Heavy under braking, hits the apex. And then the really tricky on power to not let the rear end slide out. But it looks like Gotney Weeb might be on his in lap. Bamboo jumps to the top, where he is at the top, sorry, with a 109.5. D-Swish still in second, just 1/10 behind, and then that big gap of 4 to 5/10 to P3 and P4. Passasaurus Rex, our championship leader, over Bamboo by 10 points. So with 3 races remaining, these two are engaged in a very heated battle. Pazosaurus Rex actually missed last race in Vietnam, where Bamboo finished P5, so he didn't make full use of the absence of Paz. But it's sure to be a cracker here tonight between those two. Oh, this onboard view is amazing. I love it. Just on the wing, and you can really, really feel the sense of speed that these drivers are carrying down into the hairpin. I believe it's turn 10. Yeah, turn 10. This brake disc glowing like crazy. And let's see how Paz can navigate this last chicane. It's extremely difficult to get right, especially the braking. I mean, the brake marker boards are super hard to see. It gets super close to the wall. It's right on the limit. That was awesome. And Paz goes P2 on the soft tire with a 109.5, but Bamboo has raised the bar to 108.8. So it's heating up between these two, but 7/10 that Bamboo has over Paz, and Fire Up Flow goes in P2 with a 109.0. So really, really good lap from Fire Up Flow. This Mercedes looking really, really strong tonight. Shokadia is just exiting the pits for his, entering the pits after his probably second flying lap, or his first flying lap. Nip Steven pushes them into P3. Very, very tight between P2 and P3. But great lap from Steven. See Flavio just exiting the last corner on his flying lap. Let's see if he improves from a 10.1. And he does, up to P6 at 9.7. So a lot of drivers are now entering the 9s. We kind of expected this, but I did not really expect to see anybody in the 8s. So Bamboo is really, really on the limit here. Finding just little hundredths of time in every corner, which makes him a few tenths, and that's where those, about that 10th and a half is up on Fire Up Flow. Paz, though, all the pressure, he's just not coming in the pits. He's going to have to put on another set of shoes and try one more time, possibly 2, depending on how much time he has. But he wants to be as close to his championship rival as he can. The further away he is, the harder it is going to be in the race. I've actually just received word that the conditions in qualifying, which is nice and gorgeous and sunny, that will not be the case for the race. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it's good for us viewers because we get to see probably some craziness and some chaos. But it is going to be raining for the race. A few drivers not happy with that, just posting in the Discord. But it should be a very entertaining race. I mean, trying to navigate Montreal in the wet. I mean, we saw back in 2011 in real Formula One, you know, Jenson Button and Sebastian Vettel trying to duke it out on the final lap, and Vettel making the mistake up here right into this corner here, which is turn number 6, just ran wide onto that little piece of extra asphalt, and then Button sliding on past. So I'm sure we'll see something similar, possibly. Bamboo on his out lap being extremely careful on those red marked soft tires. Doesn't want to burn too much off. But we'll catch him once he starts his lap. Crooner and Dorian Alpha, the reason they're not setting any laps is they have a qualifying ban. So they've racked up enough penalty points this season, unfortunately, due to a few incidents here and there. So they will not be taking part in qualifying. They are allowed to do an out lap, but they have to come back in to save his setup. So that is why you see Dorian, Alpha, and Crooner down in P19 and P20, Renault and Ferrari respectively. Blame Machine, a little interesting to see him down in P18, and he's well off the pace. I'm sure he's had a few mistakes, but we'll see, hopefully to see him in the top 10. Motor City is just about to start his flying lap, so we'll ride on board with him and kind of see what he can do. He's down in P15, so not ideal. Oh, that's quite a crunch with the wall. We heard that. And doesn't look like he got any damage, but definitely not the way you want to start your lap. But he's on the red mark soft tire, so let's see if he can improve from P15. And a Mercedes coming out of the pits just behind him. I'm telling you, if you get nailed this little section right here, as Sector 1 just ends, he's already 3/10 up on his time. it's already improved. It just feels amazing. I mean, you just fly through these corners, and with the walls and the trees and the shadows, that makes it feel that much faster. So one of the more enjoyable tracks, I think, for our drivers to race on. In that corner there, turn 8 and 9, extremely difficult to navigate. Oh, and there's a Haas on the track. You don't want to stop too long because you could get disqualified for being a hazard out on track. And hopefully, I don't think it's... Is that Paz? It was Paz. He's got to be careful. He might earn himself a penalty if he does that too much. But back on with Motor City. See how he navigates his last chicane. How much risk do you want to take? Do you want to go all out on the curbs? He's a little conservative. Didn't use all the exit curb. He's already out of ERS. That's going to hurt him up to the line, up to P7. So he'll be happy with that. Into the 9s, the high 9s. But pretty solid, and just squeezing right in between Flavio and Lazo. Really tight between, yeah, Flavio 9.7, Motor City 9.8, 9.9, 9.9, 10 dead, got any weeb. Currently sitting in P10 on those medium tires. Bamboo here on his flying lap. I think this will be it for him. I don't think he can finish this lap and then go, but he is, I think, on his out lap still. So he might be doing... Not really sure what he's doing right now. So he did an out lap plus an extra lap. So he's actually going to put more laps on these tires than any other driver, I think. Nip Steven is getting ready to start his flying lap, I believe. Paz looks to be on a flying lap. Bamboo is pitting, so it looks like he messed up. It'd be really tight for Bamboo to get out on a last flying lap. Pit lane is quite short, but still. And Paz pits, aborts. Flavio seems to be on a lap. Nicely controlled on the exit here. Braking just at around 90 meters. A lot of drivers missing that apex at turn 10. Sometimes it is faster to kind of carry more speed but take a wider line. Because traction out of turn 10 is probably one of the hardest things on this game. The rear end just really wants to step out. And I think Flavio is going to be pitting as well. F1 Racer, Season 9's champion here in Silver. So he is the reigning Silver class champion. About to start his flying lap, sitting down in P13, not ideal. Again, the times are really, really close though, from Flavio all the way down to Robin Hood Lawyer in P15. So anybody within that little gap can move up quite a bit. F1 Racer, see how it navigates turn 3 and 4. And then how late do you want to brake? And this is kind of a late apex. You really want to ride those curves like he did. Careful on the inside there. And then just squeeze the throttle as you open up the DRS. And then straighten out the steering. Really, really well done. And a very, very tricky braking point right there underneath the bridge with the shadows. How late do you want to brake? So with just 40 seconds left in the session, a lot of drivers on their out lap, and we have quite the traffic jam heading into the hairpin right now. About 5 drivers going to need to spread themselves out, but only 30 more seconds, so these drivers are cutting it quite close. This reminds me of Monza, when some of the drivers, or a lot of drivers, did not make their qualifying. F1 Racers stays down in P14. Let's catch up to this pack here. Who's in front of him? Bamboo's in front. So Bamboo is the first one. 6 seconds to go. These drivers are not going to make it unless they're just pitting. 2 seconds. And is D-Swish going to make it? I think he does, actually. But he's extremely close to Bamboo, so D-Swish cutting it to the wire. But quite close. Look at P2. Fire Up Flow 9.045. D-Swish 9.057. Nip Steven 9.098. So between P2 and P4 is extremely close. And Paz is done. He's starting P6. So quite a ways away from... Oh, D-Swish. What happened? something happened. I think he retired or something. Blend Machine P2 at 8.9. What a lap from him. A shame we missed that. Oh, we should have been on board. That was a stunner from Blend Machine. That came out of nowhere. Paz now down to P7. Bamboo still in P1. Wow. Oh, there's a wing. There's an end plate from the Renault. 8.6 improves. Bamboo improves to an 8.656. Well done. So maybe Paz is... Oh, there he's at turn 10. Just parked the car. But maybe Pazosaurus Rex is thinking more of a wet setup. Maybe he saw the weather and really compromised his qualifying for the race. Yeah, it's a long race, a lot of walls, potentially a lot of safety cars. Well, hopefully not too many. But just parks it on the side of the road. I don't think anybody else is on a flying lap. Flavio just crossed the line, P9. Gagne Weeb did fall back down to P11, so he'll be starting... well, actually, all these drivers will be starting on a wet set of tires, so it doesn't really matter. But so far, so good. And that's qualifying. So, the results for our Canadian Grand Prix qualifying here in Silver class. Bamboo, P1 with an 8.6. Blend Machine, quite a good lap. Did not expect that, but well done, starting in P2. Fire Up Flow, P3. D-Swish, P4. Nip Steven, Shokadia, Lazo, Pazosaurus Rex, our championship leader, plus 5 positions. Oh, he got a penalty. He's going to be starting down in P13. So really not a great start for him. And even after missing Vietnam, he's going to have a lot to do, a lot to work. Flavio, P9, and Motor City, P10. Quite an interesting qualifying, actually. And then Dorian Alpha and Crooner starting down in P19, P20. They'll actually move up one spot because Kano has a 5-place grid penalty as well. I'm not really sure what these are for, but I'm sure the drivers will have something to say afterwards. And in the comments we have, and we can hear the rain splattering on the roof. So it looks to be, I want to say intermediate conditions. But the driver's going to be taking their time to really think about the strategy. How much fuel do they want to put in? And, is anybody going to go for the wet tire? To everybody that's watching, joining us, thank you so much for watching. This is, again, round 14 of TCR's Silver class. Round 14 out of 16, so this race plus 2 more. We are in our North American stint. Canada tonight, USA next week, and then we finish up with our typical TCR finale in Mexico. So we are just going to the grid now. We have a full grid of 20 drivers, sure to be quite the spectacle. And it looks to be a lot of drivers are on the intermediate tire, so that was to be expected. Right on board with Pazosaurus Rex. Oh man, this is a shame. He's got the rev limiter glitch, so we'll have to step away from him for a second. I'm with Monkey Mafia. So the start, let's talk a little bit about kind of what the drivers are feeling at this point. You know, it's wet, it's Canada, you cannot see, there's walls on either side. You can already see Monkey Mafia understeering almost into the grass on turn 3. Getting some oversteer. Oh, and they, I guess, they made contact or something. But it's going to be very slippery. Hopefully we don't see too many wings flying off. Let's hope that our drivers are a bit cautious on the first lap or so, just kind of learn the line, kind of learn the traction, That's probably the biggest thing, is the drivers really getting a feel for how much power they can put down, how much steering lock they can use, especially out of these sweeping corners like turn 6, I think? Exit of turn 7 onto that DRS. Obviously, DRS will be disabled. And then the exit of turn 9, especially exit out of this corner here, turn 10. If you can get a good exit here, you have a really good chance of overtaking somebody, possibly down into the chicane. But again, do you want to brake late? So, what's going through the driver's heads at this moment? Probably getting a little nervous for the start. So you see D-Swish kind of ghosting through fire outflow. Nip Stevens, known to be a very aggressive overtaker, very aggressive driver. So how much is he going to really try to push into turn 1, turn 2? He's going to brake really late and try to overtake a few cars, just like maybe a Charles Leclerc. He does remind me of a Charles Leclerc, you know, very aggressive and has that fiery personality, which I love. So we'll see what happens. Shokadia has had a run of good races recently, kind of up and down. So we'll see what Shokadia can do. He's very smart about what he does on the track with other drivers. So we'll see if he maybe gets overtaken by a few drivers behind. But we are here in Canada for round 14 of TCR Silver Class, and the lights go out. And here in a second, the cars will move. Hopefully someday. There we go. And it's lights out and away we go. Slow start from everybody, just trying to get the traction down. And you can see already the Mercedes Fireflow dropping back. Crazy. Nip Steven goes around the outside of, or inside of, D-Swish, already up into P3. So just like we said, being really, really aggressive down here. Drivers are making their way through turn 2. A little bit of lag from Passasaurus Rex, but still in P11. No broken wings I see. Driver's being really, really, really careful on board Turkey Whacker, just trying to navigate his way through. Oh, and a big, huge rear end going from Shokadia. Looks like everybody's kind of behaving themselves, which is really, really good to see. Conditions are extremely slippery. Looks like D-Switch did not have the best of runs. Lazo looking towards to overtake into turn 6. Locks up a little bit, but manages to get away with it. But so far, look at Nip Steven and Blend Machine. Blend Machine up into P1, just escaping from the field. Bamboo must have had an off or something, but the top 2 already making a small gap. And just like we said, Nip Steven being extremely aggressive on the start and already moving up a few places. Yeah, 3 places for Nip Steven, which is wonderful to see. Bamboo down 2, Lazo up 2. Oh, we go side by side here. What's going to happen? Fireflow backs out of it. Smart man. You do not want to go too wide into that final chicane. Let's see if anybody hits the wall. Somebody getting really close. That was an AlphaTauri, I think. Monkey Mafia. Flavio lost 4 positions, so quite the loser on that first lap, along with Fire Up Flow. Probably just didn't get the traction on the start. So far, so good. I don't see any really big thing happening. Let's go down in the field. Ooh, we see Passasaurus Rex really trying to get past Turkey Whacker. Turkey Whacker might be holding up Paz. Paz really needs to get past and make his way towards Bamboo, his championship rival. Salvage anything he can. Paz is actually lagging a little bit, so hopefully it's not a hindrance to other drivers. Lazo down the inside of D-Swish, going side by side out the exit. Who's going to get the better exit? Looks like this is the McLaren. It's going to be a drag race, though, down to the chicane. But so far, it's Blend Machine leading in P1, Nip Steven in P2, Bamboo down in P3, D-Swish P4, Lazo rounding out the top 5. So far, so good here at a wet Canada. We've had a few wet races here recently. Oh wow, what was that? Was that a Alpha? Was that a Mercedes? They're just drifting through turn 5. That was amazing. Great car control from, I believe that was Fire Up or Got Any Weeb. Either way, though. Oh, yellow flag. That is to 4. I think he spun on his own, unfortunately. Kano down in P19, so they might have made some contact. But so far, oh, Nip Steven dives down the inside of Blend Machine. Clean move. Well done. So how much does Nip Steven want to push on these tires? Does he want to burn them up and use the fuel? A Blend Machine is coming back. And backs out of it. But how much do you want to use that overtake? How much do you want to use the tires? You know? Because I believe the race director or the strategy, pit stop strategy, was mentioning a 2-stop as an option. So pitting for another set of intermediate tires. If it does stay like this, we have no idea if it's going to dry up or even get wetter or more wet. So we'll have to just kind of follow this and watch. Steven get really loose out of the exit there. Again, once it rains, all the oils from the track kind of rise to the surface here. Makes it extremely difficult for these F1 tires to grip the surface and really give the drivers the traction that they want. Passasaurus Rex is involved in a pretty good battle here. Has a train behind Turkey Whacker. And it looks like Flavio and Juan have penalties. I think we missed that. Dorian Alpha, remember, started last along with Crooner, so they're trying to make their way through the field slowly but surely. So we got this train of cars here in the back. So in a train like this, you know, one move wrong, you know, a slightly wide line here or going off the grass there will, you know, might cause you to lose a few positions, especially running this close. Dorian Alpha right on the back of Juan. Does not seem to get a good exit though, so he'll be staying behind for about another few corners, maybe another lap or so. Everything's kind of status quo. It's extremely hard to overtake in the wet on this game, especially F1 2020. As Juan kind of drifts through turn 2. Really cool to see from Dorian's onboard. Dorian taking a look just to let Juan know that he's there. Maybe try to psych him out a little bit. All the drivers really struggling for traction here. Crooner looking down the inside of F1 Racer. F1 Racer gives him room. And up ahead we have Dorian trying to make it round Juan, going around the outside. Who dares to brake later? Is it going to be Juan or Dorian? Dorian brakes way later. Owen behind, going too wide with the Ferrari and the Racing Point, still too wide. And Crooner pulls it off. F1 Racer, our reigning Silver Class champion, seems to be struggling in these conditions. He's dropping already 4 places down from where he started, and a late braking move down the inside of Kano, the AlphaTauri, and almost hits the Ferrari, but stamps on the brakes, and good job to avoid that. It looks like Crooner also has gotten a penalty as well. Remember, we are running... Oh, and Kano as well. Kano just got one. We are running strict limits tonight, so track limits will play a part in our race. But we'll keep an eye on Dorian and Crooner, see how fast they can make their way up the field. D-Swish is already pitting for a wing, so it looks like he has had some wing damage. That's unfortunate. He was running very, very well in the top 5. But so far it's Nip Steven in P1, pulling a little bit of a gap, already 2.3 seconds in front of Blend Machine, who is only about 1 second in front of... Oh, we have an incident. That is to 4, I think. But Bamboo trying to make his way back. He did not have the best of starts. We missed what happened at the very start. But look at the Alfa Romeos. Look at Lazo and Motor City in the top 5. So really, really good for the Constructors' Championship for them. And Tafur having a really, really rough time here on those intermediate tires. Just does not seem to like them at all. So a little train forming up behind Motor City. Okay, really hard to make up ground in these conditions. Just want more grip and you can't find it. Once you start sliding these cars too, it's really hard to kind of get it under control, and you just lose so much time during the slide that your rival in front just wants to get away. And then this section here, it's easy to want to overdo it just a little bit and just gain a few more hundreds here, and but at the risk of crashing or spinning out. So Bamboo is closing in on Blinn. Last lap he was about 1 second behind. This lap only 0.5 seconds behind. We know Bamboo is a very, very well-collected driver. He does not make... Oh! I just said he does not make rash moves, but there I think he missed the brake pedal. Spoke too soon. But he's using his overtake. Blinn is using his overtake as well. Oh, safety car. A safety car, and I think that is because of something. Oh, and then everybody seems to dive into the pits. I'm not really sure why. It seems to have stopped raining as well. So are we going to dry tires, possibly? Let's go ahead and see what tires. Yeah, medium tires. This is the time. This is the switchover. Medium tires for Steven, Lazo, Blinn Machine, Bamboo, Fireflow, everybody's in the pits. I mean, literally everybody. I mean, if you're a double stacking, you're going to lose lots of time. So I really feel for those drivers who are the second drivers of a team, because they'll be held up. So we may have some position changes here right now. But it seems like everybody's going on the medium tire. It's a very, very popular choice around here. It seems to last, has good grip. You know, can they make it to the end of the race on this medium tire? Who knows? You know, and it seems like nobody is risking it to go to the hard tire. It seems like the medium tire is the one to go for. So again, safety car, everybody's going to bunch up again. We'll have another crack at kind of another start. I think Tafour caused that safety car. I thought I saw him on the front straight. Kind of stopped right before turn 1, so that might have been the reason why. But as always, we predicted a safety car here in Canada, just like in Monaco, just like in Baku, just like in Vietnam. It's much more likely that we'll have a safety car. So something interesting to note is that when the safety car comes in, it should be fully dry. DRS might be enabled at that point. Well, actually, probably not, because it's a safety car, so it'll be enabled 3 laps after the safety car comes in. But look at all the penalties, though. Already only lap 9 out of 35. So Flavio, Monkey Mafia, Juan, Crooner, Dorian Alpha, Robin Hood, Kano, and Tafour all have some sort of time penalty for track limits, I assume. It could also be speeding in the pit lane, but they've all made their pit stops, so I'm 99% sure it is because of track limits. But this this transition time, from wet to dry is, there's another learning curve. At first it was learning how much traction can you put down, how much, turn-in do you have on these wet tires. Now they're on the medium tires, so they're going to have to quickly adapt. And who can adapt the fastest? If you're able to just kind of throw the car around and really find the grip on this newly dry surface, you may be able to find a few positions here on the restart. We have had a few incidents on the restart, safety car restarts here in Silver Class this season. Sometimes because of a Cody's glitch. Just miscommunication from Cody's to the drivers. But it's expected that the lead driver, holds a consistent pace so that we don't have a Constantina effect, down in the field, people stopping and going and then causing a huge collision, which has happened, I think, also in Golden Class in China this season. Speaking of Golden Class and Platinum Class, those are other 2 classes here in TCR. Silver Class tonight we run. The drivers are allowed to run, or they can run, with medium traction control, ABS, and racing line. Tomorrow night we have our Golden Class, who they only run with racing line, no other assist. All the traction's off, ABS is off, braking is off. And then on Thursday, we have our top tier in TCR, the Platinum class, and those drivers run with no assist at all. No racing line, no traction, nothing to help or assist at all. So it's purely the driver and the car on Thursday for Platinum class. But it's at the same time, 8:15 Eastern, so if you're enjoying this tonight, please join us for Golden class tomorrow and Platinum class on Thursday. And then, like we said earlier in the stream, next week we travel to Circuit of the Americas, which is the home race for most of our drivers in TCR, as we are based in America. We do have quite a few actually here in Silver class tonight from France, or that are based from France or in Canada. I believe that is Bamboo, Shokadia, Flavio, Crooner, and Dorian Alpha. So I think 4 or 5 drivers that have a French nationality or have a relation to France. I think they're all good friends here, so it's always nice to see a group of good friends coming into TCR to race. Always good to see. Safety car in this lap. So let's travel back to the front. And Blend Machine is going to be looking to hold his position, maybe even look to overtake. But again, Nip Steven, quite an aggressive defender, aggressive overtaker, as we saw on lap 1, making up a few positions. That seemed to pay it off as well. He's sitting in P1 here. So we'll see what happens. Just needs to hold a steady pace for the drivers behind. And he seems to be going right now, possibly. Yes, he is. Bamboo seems to get a really good run on Lazo. A 3-second time penalty for TCR F1 Racer. That might have been for the final chicane. A few drivers coming into pit, and that is Monkey Mafia and Kano. Not really sure why. But we are back racing under green, and just like the very beginning on the start on the intermediate tire, Nip Steven and Blue Machine just takes off from the field. I mean, they are just gone. Lazo has a train behind him. D-Swish, another 3-second time penalty. So these time penalties are going to be they're going to have a huge effect on the race result. Ironically, it's all drivers outside the top 10, or Flavio and everybody else outside the top 10. Oh, and as I say that, our championship leader, Passasaurus Rex, gets a 3-second time penalty, and he's already down already, but he's only in P8. So that does not help his championship hopes. Even though he is 10 points in front of Bamboo, still, Bamboo's in P4. That's a cool shot to see. Crooner, a 3-second time penalty. So drivers here tonight racking them up. Want to be really careful. Motor City, another 3 seconds. No, I think that's just to be expected, so yeah, we'll leave that alone. But quite good, clean racing tonight. Really, really nice to see from our silver class drivers. And it seems like Lazo just had a kind of a slow start on the restart, trying to get his tires warmed up. Seems like Blend Machine and Nip Steven did a better job of getting ready. Blend Machine, look at him. He's really, really being aggressive and really wants to make an overtake on Nip Steven. Blend Machine is actually one of our commentators for TCR. He commentates Golden class on Wednesdays and is our head commentator for Thursday night Platinum class. So always good to see a fellow commentator doing really, really well. Finished P2 in last season's championship. Runner-up to TCR F1 Racer. So he has the speed, he knows how to race, he knows how to battle, he knows where to pick his fights. And D-Swish! He's out. He hit the wall of champions, I believe. Yes. Yes, there he is, he's out. The front wheel is off. I don't know if there was contact, but it looks like Juan and Dorian both are pitting, so that might have been, they might have made contact with D-Swish, maybe a miscommunication on pitting, and D-Swish maybe caught maybe his rear tire caught the front end plate or the front tire of another car, and that's what turned him around. but I bet D-Switch will not be a happy driver. I bet he is extremely frustrated, to say the least. VSC, virtual safety car, so drivers have to slow down and just find their delta, you know, turn the ERS off and turn the engine mode down to lean and try to save more fuel so that you can use that extra fuel on the straights whenever it goes green again. But kind of a little break for drivers. I'm not really sure why Nip Steven is using his overtake, but maybe we're about to go green here soon. And Blame Machine also using overtake as well. And we're back green. Flavio, drive-through penalty, speeding under the virtual safety car. So, Blame Machine, another 3 seconds. So, oh, right now, look at Lazo going down the inside of Blin, and there's slight contact. And Blin dives down. Oh, careful. That's good hard racing, boys. Just minimal contact, but that's to be expected around this track, and D-Swish is a very frustrated race car driver tonight, has left the session. So Lazo took full advantage of that. I don't know what happened in Blin. I think Lazo just caught him sleeping. But Blin now under attack from Bamboo, who needs to make his way through the top 3 if he wants to pull a gap and really close up on Pazasaurus Rex in the championship. I mean, this is the opportunity for him. He's 3 places in front of Paz, and Paz is coming. I mean, right now he's behind Shokadia, but yeah, if I was Bamboo, you need to be making full advantage of this. And as he is right now, DRS and overtake enabled. Shokadia gets a 3-second time penalty, and Paz gets through. So the space between our championship leaders is slowly closing, and that's the wall. I don't think there's any damage though, but there might be like a slightly green wing or something for him. Bamboo's in the pits, hard tires. So that might have been damage. I'm not really sure why, but he might be trying to do a massive undercut or something. So this is really, really interesting. We really have to watch what's going to happen between Bamboo and Paz. Different tire strategies, 2 different places on the racetrack. You know, Bamboo doesn't have any traffic in front of him except for Monkey Mafia, who might actually hold him up because he is on the faster tire, and 7-lap-old medium tires are still good to race. Still have pace as well. But at the front, Nip Steven has opened up a gap. He's out of the DRS range of Blin Machine. Blin Machine still worrying about Lazo and Fire Up Flow behind. And not too far behind that, our leader. And Shokadia trying to get past. Oh, goes for the overtake, and look at this. We have a battle on our hands for third place. Shokadia goes round the outside of turn 2, round Paz. Well done to him. So he retakes that position and holds that for now. So we get a really nice helicopter cam of kind of the circuit. See how many trees there are? It's really hard to see. So the circuit kind of embedded in it's kind of a forested area. Got the water to the left-hand side. So this track, a very unique circuit. It's not your typical Herman Tilke cookie cutter circuit that we often see in today's F1 calendar. Quite a historic track, actually. Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. Ooh, and Alfa Romeo of Lazo getting quite wide on the exit. Both the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo have DRS, so it's pretty much a stalemate at this point. It's all very tight here. Sector 2, there's a yellow flag. I believe that was Robin Hood Lawyer, possibly. Yeah, it looks like the 2 Ferraris are having their own little inter-team battle. Crooner and Turkey Whacker. Just right on board with Crooner, kind of just see what he does, how he takes the lines, his braking. His lines are quite good. He's really making all the apexes, turns in quite well, and really gets a nice slingshot out of the turn 6. I believe we're turn 7. Using his overtake, already down at 15%, but he isn't within DRS range of Turkey Whacker in front. Turkey runs a slightly wide, taking too much speed into the apex. And the thing about this circuit is, which I kind of don't like, is that the detection zone for this DRS zone is super early. It's way before the hairpin, actually. And then there's another DRS zone, which is still the same, uses the same detection point from like a quarter of a lap ago. So even if Crooner got past Turkey Whacker before the chicane, he still would have had DRS. And I don't agree with that. I think that's kind of bogus on F1's part. Very different lines from both of the Ferrari drivers, but not really getting anywhere. So it doesn't really make any sense for those DRS detection points. Kind of a weird thing in my opinion. Lazo right on the back of Fire Up Flow though, just edging ever closer to the Mercedes driver. We're still keeping an eye on Bamboo. Bamboo is, he got past a few, I think Monkey Mafia was, so he's behind his friend, I believe, Flavio. But yeah, Bamboo is the only one on the hard tire. And Robin Hood Lawyer, there's a huge crash! Gotney Weeb and Shokadia, that's surely a safety car. Yes, safety car. We just saw that in the background. That was massive. I think it was look at the Mercedes just stricken on the side of the road there. Both wheels gone, wing everywhere. I don't know what happened. Gosh, we just caught that. Shokadia is now retired. And a flurry of action in the pits. We have Dorian Alpha putting on the soft tire, Flavio on the hard tire, so different strategy there. Motor City in the pits as well. Juan, Bamboo, again in the pits, but on the soft tires. That's a bit strange. And then Monkey Mafia as well. So those drivers have now taken full advantage of this safety car in the top 10 or so left out, sorry, the top 8 left out to dry. So very exciting this race is so far. I don't know if Shokadia spun and Gotney Weeb hit him, or if Gotney Weeb spun and Shokadia hit him. But yeah, just massive accident here in the Wall of Champions. Leaders decide not to pit, except for Blinn. Blinn is decides to pit for another set of medium tires, puts on another wing. And to be honest, if I was Blinn, I would have probably put on the medium tires as well. I think it lasts a while. You can make it to the end of the race now. Even if there's another safety car, you gain that track position. So I'm not really sure why, and Crooner pits as well for another set of medium tires. I'm not really sure why Turkey Whacker, F1 Racer, Paz, Lazo, Fire Up Flow, and Nip Steven did not pit. But you know, they're the drivers. We're just here in the box tonight, so they know a bit more than we do. But strategy definitely playing its part here in Montreal. Crazy stuff, though. And like we said, D-Swish is not happy. Thinks that somebody turned in on him. So that might have been like a pit lane miscommunication with another driver. But we are left now with 17 drivers. We started with 20, We've lost 3, lost D-Swish, Got Any Weeb, and Shokadia. So a driver we don't usually see DNF, but again, Canada playing its part tonight. So, since I am the only one in the comms box tonight, I'm going to take a 30-second break and get some water under the safety car. I'll be right back. And we're back. It's like a commercial breakout, actually. So we're on lap 21 out of 35. When the safety car does come in, I think we'll have around 12 laps to go, 12 or 13 laps to go. Should come in at the end of this lap as Robin Hood Lawyer and Tafor make their way to the back. What a race, though. A lot of action, a lot of close battling, and for the most part, I want to say really good battling, really clean racing. I think just really unfortunate between Shokadia and Got Any Weeb, and then another miscommunication or something between D-Swish and another driver, who we don't know who that is, but we'll find out after. Everybody on the grid has a track limits penalty of 3 seconds or more. The only drivers to not get a penalty so far is Nip Steven, our leader, Lazo, P3, Turkey Whacker in the Ferrari in P6, and Dorian Alpha in P9. So, depending on where they cross the line, they may, jump up a few places, and other drivers may drop a few places or more. So, this race results, or what looks like right now, is definitely not what we're going to see at the end of the race. So, if you're tuning in, stay tuned in. It's just getting spicy now. The last 12 laps or so is going to be quite the spectacle to watch, I'm sure. I mean, drivers are saving up their fuel, have a ton of ERS, pretty much full ERS on everybody. It's going to be just full out, flat out, just fully sending it. Drivers frantically trying to warm up their tires for the start. Nip Steven again has been leading pretty much the whole race, except for like lap 1 or lap 2 before he passed Blue Machine. But it gets a really good jump on Fire Flow. And we are back racing in Montreal. Field quite spread out, actually. TCR F1 Racer kind of snoozing. Turkey Whacker looking to make up a few positions with the AlphaTauri getting out of the way, which is good. I think it's a lap down. I think it's Robin Hood Lawyer. And Fireflow gets a snap over steer, saves it though, but great job out of turn 6 for him. Into turn 7 and 8, or I believe 8 and 9, my bad. I believe this is where a lot of drivers are getting penalties, because they've run slightly wide and take too much speed into that turn, and then they can't get it back, and they just get a warning or penalty. Oh, and then Blue Machine looking down the inside of Turkey Whacker, thought better of it though. Wants to wait until the DRS straight, which is probably the smarter thing to do, honestly. Sandwich between two Ferraris, Turkey Whacker and Crooner. Oh, Blend Machine, that's bold. Nicely done. It forces the Ferrari. Oh, teammates, you don't want this Leclerc Vettel incident from Brazil. That was ballsy. But Blend Machine, look at, I mean, that was a wonderful overtake, and we have a position change for P2 when Fireflow gets overtaken by the Alfa Romeo. That was quite close. Don't really know what happened there, but these two having a quite a good battle. Passes towards Rex right behind. You stay calm though. His championship rival Bamboo is down in P11, so out of the points currently. So this could be huge for Paz. Only 11 laps to go. Just about 6 laps ago, it was reversed in Sector 2. Oh, Dorian or Bamboo. Oh, Monkey Mafia is out. Huge crash. Bamboo was turned around, and we have a VSC, a virtual safety car. Not sure what happened, but that was yeah, and there's wing damage for Bamboo. This is not going well for Bamboo. We were just talking about it, but how about 6 or 7 laps ago he was around 3 or 4 positions in front of Paz, and this would have been great for Bamboo in his championship battle. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. The battle becoming harder and harder. And unfortunately for Bamboo, he has massive wing damage, and it's not a safety car, it's only a virtual safety car, so he's going to be a long way behind, and I bet he's frustrated with himself. Bamboo gets a 5-second penalty just to add to his woes, so not a great day in the office. Tafur gets disqualified for ignoring a drive-through penalty. Also not good. DRS is enabled though. Oh, F1 racer, he's out. He's crashed. What is happening? What is happening? This could be, if there's a safety car, this could save Bamboo. And do I see raindrops? You got to be kidding me. This is unbelievable. What is this race? What is this race? I'm either blind or I'm actually seeing rain. But there's 10 laps to go. It was wet at the start of the race, turned to dry. We've had 2 safety cars, 2 or 3 VSCs. F1 racer is out. Bamboo has crashed. It's now raining again. Oh my gosh. These drivers are probably pulling their hair out at this point. Oh god. Ooh, that was close by Flavio. So now the tricky part really begins. Dry tires on a damp track. It's only going to get more wet. So car control is going to be of the essence here the next 9 laps. Only 9 laps to go. Oh man, but I feel really, really bad for F1 Racer, Monkey Mafia, Shokadia. I mean, it just seems like bad luck. I'm not really sure. Close battling or miscommunication. Shame I missed some of these incidents though. Oh no! Oh my gosh. Oh goodness me. Oh god, and then the Ferrari hits Blin again. Blin, that, oh Blin, don't, oh god. I know, trying to get out of the way, but you gotta be careful, don't reverse too much. And Blin Machine does retire from the session. That was a very late braking maneuver from Blin. I think he, yeah, that was just contact with the Ferrari driver. Oh, and then Crooner smacks the wall. It's definitely getting wet out there for these drivers. It's just absolute mayhem right now. The drivers are going sideways. If you're on the soft tire, you've played it perfectly. Dorian Alpha going from last place on the grid, or 19th or whatever, to P5. Bamboo sets the fastest lap of the race, also on the soft tire. Flavio not having a great time on those harder compounded tires, but it is still, guess who? Nip Steven in P1, who's just mastering this race, mastering the conditions, being very calm and collected, has had no incidents this race so far. The only driver running to have not gotten a 3-second time penalty or more. Incredible from him. Amazing drive. Fire up flow, looking towards Lazo for P2. He's going to jinx it. He thinks to back out of it. Thought he was going to jinx to the left and fake a dummy to Lazo. Look at Lazo just running so wide. There's no grip at all for these drivers. And if you pit now for intermediates, you're going to fall so far back, even though it's a short pit lane. But I don't think you can make that time back unless it just gets totally wet here in the next few minutes, which I doubt because it would have already gotten wet, because of Cody's. But man, this is absolutely crazy. Blinn not happy, actually. I think we saw a different view from what Blinn saw. But Blinn not happy with Crooner, and already we have a few drivers going on the intermediate tires. Motor City and Crooner. Ooh, and another crunch with the wall from the Ferrari driver. So having an interesting debut here tonight. Or not debut, sorry, that was Flavio. Just struggling a little bit in the Ferrari. Bamboo still out of the points, though. Passasaurus Rex in P4. And then Fire Up Flow still in the back of Lazo, wanting to make that pass, but yeah, dry tires on a damp, wet surface just does not mix, especially with these super powerful cars. Even though we have all the downforce in the world, when it becomes wet, none of that matters. It's about the driver and the tires. Blinn Machine, I cannot believe this season. Blinn, we can't believe it either. You've had the worst luck. You've had one win this season on Australia, which was a masterclass of the drive, but that doesn't cancel out all the bad luck that you've had this season. We really, really feel for you, that's for sure. Rex might be looking to sniff out a podium here tonight. He's catching up to Fire Up and Lazo. But that was a few crazy laps there that we had, where it's all settling down now. Started with 20 drivers, and we have 7 that have DNF so far. Due to the nature of Canada, a wet start, transition to dry, and now it is raining again. A few drivers on the intermediate tire. Does not seem to be working well for them. Crooner dropping back, Motor City dropping back a lot. So it still seems to be dry conditions for, or not dry conditions, but the dry tire seems to be the optimum tire at this point in time, with only 5 laps to go. These drivers are really trying to find every ounce of tarmac they can, trying to find every part of the traction they can from the rear tires. Oh, Crooner? No. Turkey seems to be in the wall. Yeah, his wing is completely gone. I think he smashed the wall. He's gotta be careful though. Bamboo is right behind him. But yeah, these intermediate tires are not working at all. Nice little battle right here between Flavio and Dorian. Little inter-team battle, or not inter-team, but battle of the friends. So I just want to take this time to thank our affiliate sponsor, Fanatec, who sponsors Trinity Competitive Racing, TCR. About 70% of our drivers use Fanatec gear, myself included. Wonderful gear. I mean, very high quality. Really makes a difference in the racing. As you can see here tonight, and you can see here tomorrow night and Thursday as well, when our Golden and our Platinum class drivers take on the walls of Canada. It's taken out of quite a few of our drivers here tonight. Passasaurus Rex, seeing we can make an overtake around the outside of Fire Up Flow into turn 10. Makes it stick, but gets a snap over steer, and the Mercedes driver of Fire Up Flow is not faring too well. It seems to be getting wetter, more wet. DRS is still enabled though, so it's not completely time for intermediates yet. And at this point, only 4 laps to go. I would say to stick it out. Oh, and there's an Alpha in the wall. Who is that? That's Lazo. Lazo has wing damage, and Lazo gives up P2 to Paz. Oh, Bamboo's day could not get any worse. He sees his championship rival just climbing up the order. Probably just such a frustrated man, and that Renault seeing this. If the results stay like this, it's going to be quite the climb and quite the challenge for Bamboo to win the championship. But anything can happen. I don't want to commentate curse anything yet. This battle here, the Fire Up Flow is probably going to get a podium because of Lazo's wing damage. You know, Flavio, considering he is on the... Oh gosh. There's nothing left on these tires. It is really, really wet. But Flavio... Excuse me. No, he's on the hard tires. Seems to be faring okay. Especially considering that Dorian Alpha's on the soft tires and Dorian just completely goes wide. Look at the drivers struggling to get on the traction. They're sawing on the wheel back and forth, and the rear ends are squiggly wiggling. Oh! Pits! Paz, Lazo, Fire. Is this the time? Are they... Dorian. Flavio stays out. Is this the crossover point? Is it too wet? Steven still on the soft tires. Has he played this wrong? Flavio, look at that. Red Bull 1-2 right now. When have we seen that before? It's been a while since we've seen a Red Bull 1-2. But look at Flavio. He's just really struggling. Was that the time to come in? I think it's the intermediate time. This has completely changed the race. There's only 3 laps to go. Just 2.5 laps to go. The medium tire runners are struggling. The intermediate tires have played this perfectly. Paz's Horse Rex could win this race. That would be unbelievable. Kano's still on the medium tire as well. Oh, this is... Oh, look at, they're struggling. I think they've made the wrong call. I think if you're still out on the dry tires, I think you've made the wrong call. I think the call was to go on the intermediates at this time. And look at Paz. He's catching up Flavio at an astronomical rate. He's going to pass him before turn 10. This is unbelievable. There's 2 laps to go. Just the amount of traction that those intermediate tires have is unbelievable. Crooner, a 3-second time penalty going in the pits. Or somewhere, I don't even know. Nip Steven finally into the pits. Oh, he's going to lose it to Paz, though. Paz is already around the last corner. Paz is going to take the lead of the race. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. Nip Steven exiting the pits now. Oh, and we got a battle between Kano and Lazo. Kano on those medium tires, he's 2 laps to go, and he's dropping like a stone right now. Nip Steven, 3-second time penalty. Nip Steven's got a penalty with only 2 laps to go. He's going to be kicking himself for that because Fire Up Flow and Flavio, but well, Flavio's going to drop back. But even Lazo, Nip Steven might lose the podium because of penalties. And we got the yellow flag in Sector 2. I believe that's Swan and Dorian, maybe? But right now, all eyes are on Steven, Fire Up Flow. We're going to watch this gap. If Fire Up Flow can keep the gap under 3 seconds, he will jump up to P2. Well, actually, maybe not, because Fire Up Flow has penalties of himself. We have no idea what this race is going to be in a lap's time. It's all a mystery. Motor City, another 3-second penalty. He might drop outside the top 10. Bamboo, it's not over yet. He's in P11, no points, but he may pick up a few. Now Fatari, I think that's Robin Hood Lawyer. He's spun, yeah, turn 3 and turn 4, turn 5. Final lap. This is very reminiscent of 2011. I mean, don't make a mistake now, please. I'm not trying to commentate curse anybody, but this has been a wild race so far. And if you stuck it through with us, thank you so much for watching. It's been absolutely crazy. You know, safety cars, virtual safety cars, and action. We've had 8 cars DNF or 7 cars DNF due to incidents and wet weather. But nonetheless, this has been a very exciting race to watch. And somehow, Pazosaurus Rex has come out on top after qualifying P13. He is my driver of the day. Nip Steven, unfortunately, made just a wrong tire choice about 2 laps ago. Pit 1 lap too late, and that was the difference between P1 and P2. But today, it is all Pazosaurus Rex. Our championship leader extends the gap to Bamboo in the championship. Only 2 more races to go after this. Wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Nip Steven crossed the line in P2. Just misses out on P1 due to a tire wrong choice on tires. Fire Flow, really, really great drive from him. P3, let's see kind of what happens with the order. Dorian Alpha, P5, really good drive from him. Juan, amazing, P6. I think that's his, he's gotten some points before, I think, but amazing. I mean, really, really good. Flavio on his full-time debut, P8. He was P7, P8. Let's see if he drops down even more. Kano's yet to cross the line on the medium tires. So those two, Flavio and Kano, top 10 on the dry tires in wet conditions. Great job on them. Bamboo, P10, so gets 1 point. And as you can tell, not happy with that performance at all. He'll be kicking himself for that. Oh, driver of the day, Dorian Alpha. Well, I would have picked Paz, but there you go. Wow, that is crazy. So Paz, Nip Steven, and Fire Up, I believe. Congratulations to our top 3. What a race. Whoa, look at that. That's, Jesus. It's a lot of penalties. Whoa, holy moly. Bamboo, 6 pit stops. Jeez. Or 5 pit stops. That's incredible. I'm trying to get all these race director incidents just in case we have a few bogus penalties from Codemasters. Sorry it's taking so long. And then we'll invite our drivers to the commentary box for interviews. Ah, there we go. Incredible. So Paz, Nip Steven, Fire Up Flow. Let's go ahead and invite our drivers from tonight. Sorry for the blue screen, but just solo commentating tonight, so it'll be just a few seconds. And looks like we have somebody. Nip Steve, or so we have Fire Up Flow and Paz. We're trying to find Nip Steven. Hey guys. Oh, I'm out of breath. How about you guys? That was slightly intense, I would say.
Yeah, that was a good race. I feel like I've had a bad season, so I needed a podium. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think you drove really, really well. So we have Paz in the box. We have Fire Up Flow in the box. Just waiting on Nip Steven. But we'll get him here hopefully soon. If not, then we'll just go ahead and do interviews. Paz, I think you're my driver of the day. I mean, how...
Yeah, where did you come from?
How do you go from P13 to P1? That's incredible. That's insane.
I don't know.
I don't know
Just
either.
let all the chaos fold out in front of me and just kind of take advantage of wherever other people mess up.
You must have pitted like the lap before we did for inters because I thought I was going to come out in second. And
I
saw
pitted
your name up there, and I was
32, I think.
I think it was 32 or 33.
Oh,
You
wow.
timed it perfectly because Steven
Yeah.
pit a lap later, and that was the difference from winning the race and
Yeah,
getting
that let me
second.
jump him.
Yeah, that was crazy. Paz, you drive the Haas, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, Firefly, you drive the Mercedes. We'll start with you because I don't think Nip Steven will be joining us tonight.
Sure.
So, Fireflow, welcome.
Thank you.
So just talk
Thank
us
you.
through your race, like the start, the transition from wet to dry, and then back to wet. I mean, who would have thought, all right?
I know. I saw that in the when I was looking at the weather was going to be. I knew it was going to, of course, be raining. But I have the toughest starts in general, so I knew I was going to start bad out of the rain. Just could not get grip. But as soon as it started, I think I dropped back down to seventh, and then I think there was a safety car or something like that. And
There
as
was like
soon as we
2 or
went to
3 safety
dry-
cars,
as soon
man.
as we went to dry, yeah, God. But as soon as we went to dry, I knew I had pace. Oh my gosh, I invalid myself and I would have had pole, so I knew I had pace in the dry, and just honestly just drove a completely clean race. Besides getting 1 3-second time penalty, I just knew if I stayed clean, stayed out of the chaos behind me, that I'd be fine, and that's how it happened.
Yeah, I think, if you stay out of trouble and just try to drive clean. I mean, everybody actually got at least one 3-second time penalty. Nip Steven was actually the only one to not have one, and then on the last lap he got one. So
Yep.
it was just, yeah, too bad for that. Anyway, so only 2 more races to go. How do you think you're going to get on at Circuit of the Americas next week after
I
today?
I feel very strong, or I feel very good about USA and Mexico. Like I said, I've had the most amount of DNFs I've ever had in a season, and but these North American tracks are just for whatever reason some strong ones for me. So I have a lot of confidence. I'm gonna jump up a few more places and get a lot more points. These last 2, I'm excited to finish it out.
Awesome. Yeah, well, again, really, really well-driven race tonight, and congrats on the podium. Well done.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. So moving on to our race winner tonight, Passasaurus Rex, also our championship leader, who has extended his gap to Bamboo by quite a bit. I don't know the exact points gap now. We'll need to calculate that. But Paz, it could not have gone any better. I mean, starting outside the points to win the race and actually take the lead on the final lap, or the second to last lap, or whatever. Just kind of talk us through kind of what happened and kind of your point of view through a lot of that, because I know you were back in the pack for the first half of the race or so.
Yeah, starting with qualifying, that did not go anywhere near where I wanted it to. As I mentioned last time when I was up in the commentary booth with you, I had that shoulder injury and managed to heal up in time to come back, but strength's not all quite there, and I don't have really good hot lap pace yet. And even then, I still just couldn't get a lap together. On my one flyer, I looked behind me because I saw somebody else on their flyer, and I was looking at that, and I accidentally barely tapped the wall and knocked off my end plate.
Oh gosh.
And so I was like, well, there goes that lap. And then as I'm getting out of the way for another driver coming through, I lightly tapped Kano, who's also getting out of the way, and it gave me a 5-place grid penalty for it.
Ah, that's why.
And I was like, wow, this cannot go any worse. I'm trying to fight for a championship here. Bamboo is like, was he on pole?
Yes, yeah, by
I was
2/10. Yep.
I'm like, so my championship rival's on pole. I'm at 13th. This is the worst thing I've ever done. And then I saw it was raining. I knew that I was pretty good in the rain. But even for that first rain session, I really didn't gain that many spots, maybe like 2 or 3, like a couple at the start. And then, honestly, it's kind of all a blur at this point. There's so much that happened with all the safety cars and whatnot. And like, I looked in my mirrors like 4 times and watched people die. Like Shokadia, and then was it Gottney Weeb and the Mercedes that crashed into him, and then Kroner and Glenn, I think it was, that made contact there too. Like, I watched all of that happen. I'm like, oh my gosh. So going all the way through all that, and then ended up making the good call for switching the inners at the last, I think it was the third to last lap that I ended up pitting, and then that ended up being the thing that got me to the front. And whenever I was at the front, I was like, I can't believe I actually just did that. You know?
Yeah, that was, I mean, yeah, I think it was like halfway through the race, before like the last VSC, Bamboo had an incident with Monkey, I think, and got spun around at the exit of turn 6, or turn 5 or turn 6, and that's kind of when this race kind of just turned upside down. So just bad fortune for some of the drivers at certain points. But yeah, you mean you came back on top, and really well driven, well controlled race. It was pretty incredible to watch. How do you think you're going to get on at COTA next week? Is that a track that you like, and if so,
yeah, that's
why?
If I don't win that race, there might be a hole in my drywall with a wheel sticking in it. Like, that is by far, that is the track I'm the best at. So,
oh, nice.
And even then, I'm still going to put in so much practice because I need to win it. I don't need to win it necessarily, but I know for a fact that I've done a tiny bit of quick estimation math, and if I can do pretty well there in some circumstances, I can take the championship there. So I'm definitely going to be giving that track my all.
Yeah, I mean, you can actually win it at COTA next week, and that's your home track, so, you know, that would be quite the celebration, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's definitely not the words that Bamboo wants to hear, but it's going to be spicy nonetheless. So, I hope to see you towards the front again next week. But think anything else you would like to say to our audience, or?
Not too much. My brain is not working after that. I was so much stuff going on.
My voice isn't working after that. That was insane. Well, if that's about it. Congrats to Fire Up Flow for the podium and Passasaurus Rex for winning the race. I think that'll do it for interviews. So thanks guys so much, and yeah, hope to see you guys at the front next Tuesday. So that is about it for tonight's broadcast. Again, thank you so much for watching. It's been quite the chaotic race, and quite a very entertaining race to watch. I mean, going from wet to dry to wet, and you know, Canada, and 7 DNFs and safety cars and VSCs, and wonderful battling, great racing, really good racecraft. Just a few mishaps here and there, but quite exciting. So again, tomorrow night for Golden Class at 8:15 Eastern, and Thursday night for Platinum Class. I'll actually be racing in Platinum Class on Thursday, so you can watch me make a fool out of myself. Hopefully not. I'll stay out of the walls. But it's been really fun tonight. Looking forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday for Circuit of the Americas. Again, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful night.